A judge ruled on Friday that Donald Trump will remain in contempt of court after failing to comply with a subpoena in a fraud investigation as more bombshell text messages emerged, implicating more GOP members of Congress in the attempted coup on January 6th. Also, Trump endorsed a non-existent person for Senate in Ohio. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. As we have established for a long time now, one of the things Trump did to the modern GOP is he weirdified it. He unleashed his army of mafia, bobblehead goons, and freaks, and now the Republican Party is an institution just filled with weirdos obsessed with things like cocaine-fueled orgies, Disney erotica, and testicle tanning. An example of one of those weirdos is his former personal attorney and necklace wonder, Rudy Giuliani. Now, we have shown you clips over the years of Rudy Giuliani saying and doing many bizarre things, but I have to say this latest might be the weirdest yet. Rudy is on Cameo, where you can pay him to say things, and to advertise that fact, he posted this video online today.
I'm Rudy Giuliani. If you want to have a really nice conversation, or a birthday greeting, or just talk golf, go to the link below.
This is the weirdest metronome I have ever seen. It does not even look, I'm sorry, it doesn't even look like an actual human body. It looks like one of Jeff Dunham's puppets. It's like a wind-up toy you'd get in a giveaway bag at a mobster's funeral. Is this from his new movie, Weekend at Rudy's? Why is he just flaccidly swinging the club back and forth like a wet pool noodle the entire time? Is he trying to hypnotize us? I'm not wasting money on Cameo, or will I get Cameo? He looks like one of those drinking birds if instead of water, all it drank was scotch. So it's a party of weirdos led by head weirdo Donald Trump, who keeps going around the country reminding us of his relentless weirdness. For example, it has been well documented, including on this show, that Trump has an obsession with toilets. He has a whole platform ranting about toilets not flushing due to low water pressure. And even now, amid a deadly plague and a land war in Europe, it's still one of the staples of his rally speeches. Trump repeated it again during a rally in Ohio just over a week ago.
You ever go into a new home and you turn on the faucet and there's no water comes out? So you're sitting there washing your hands and you're, come on, water, come out, baby. Same thing with showers. I'd go into a shower and I'd go to a hotel that was new, and I said, I can't stay in these places. Why? The water just drips out a little bit slowly. And I won't talk about the third element of a bathroom, because every time I do, the fake news only talks about that. But you know what I'm talking about. 1 time, 2 times, 5 times, 10 times, no water comes out.
I love that he used to be the leader of the free world, and now he sounds like an all-caps post on Nextdoor. I flush 1, 2, 3 times, no water comes out. Also, have you seen this cat? And by the way, it is not normal that we know his position on toilets. Biden has been president for over a year. I have no idea where he stands on toilets. I mean, I assume he's pro. Also, I like that Trump thinks as long as he doesn't say the word toilet, the fake news won't know what he's talking about. Like, our minds are blown when he calls it the third element, like it's a canceled sci-fi series. Although, it would be amazing if Trumpers started calling it the third element. It would save you trouble if you were ever at a family reunion and some distant cousin was like, hey, I gotta go hit the third element, but when we get back, we're gonna start talking politics. You could be in your car before he even flushed. Now, there is a chance Trump's obsession with toilets and their inability to flush has something to do with the fact that he reportedly has a habit of destroying documents via toilet. While President Trump was in office, staff in the White House residence periodically discovered wads of printed paper clogging a toilet and believed the president had flushed pieces of paper. Either he was destroying official documents by flushing them or using official documents as toilet paper. Oh man, there's no paper. Mel! Mel, there's no paper. Can you slide the daily briefing in? Mel! Mel, this is the prenup. You want me to amend it? If you want a toilet that can handle official documents, you need one of those high-powered super flushers they have on airplanes. You ever seen one of those toilets get clogged? No. They can handle anything. Because the people who designed those toilets knew what they were up against. A plane full of people who had breakfast, then stopped at the airport bar, then got a Cinnabon, and then ate a vintage Salisbury steak in severe turbulence. Those toilets are ready to go. You could put a toaster in there. and flush it without a problem. Anyway, the point of all this, if there can even be a point, is that Trump has a troubled history with document preservation. And that troubled history is now costing him after a judge ruled on Friday that he's still in contempt of court for failing to turn over documents Trump claims he doesn't have.
Breaking news out of New York, where former President Donald Trump is now being held in contempt of court for refusing to comply with a subpoena as part of the New York AG's investigation into his company.
The Manhattan judge rejecting former President Trump's appeal, denying his lawyer's request to lift a contempt of court order, despite the former president submitting an affidavit that he just can't find the documents they're looking for. This comes just 3 days after that contempt order kicked in, which would fine Mr. Trump $10,000 each day till he coughs up the related documents.
First of all, it doesn't surprise me at all that Trump says he can't find the documents they want. I'm betting the Trump Organization didn't have actual files. I doubt they even recorded any of their meetings. When you get a Google Calendar invite from the Trump Organization, it probably just says subject, the thing, location, the place, attendees, the guides. So Trump has now been held in contempt as part of a fraud investigation in which he claims he doesn't have the documents that have been subpoenaed. And if you ask me, there's a decent chance the reason he doesn't have them is he flushed them down the toilet. This is the guy the Republican Party is in lockstep behind. Just consider how humiliating it must be to grovel for the toilet weirdo's endorsement, which Republicans across the country have been doing. Like Senate candidate J.D. Vance in Ohio. Vance spent years relentlessly criticizing Trump, and now he has to debase himself by taking back all those criticisms in order to earn Trump's endorsement. And Trump has returned Vance's loyalty by refusing to even remember his name.
Author and former venture capitalist J.D. Vance desperately sought and earned the endorsement from former President Trump over Ohio's former state treasurer Josh Mandel, although for a moment overnight it wasn't clear to anyone, apparently even Trump, exactly who he endorsed.
You know, we've endorsed Dr. Oz. We've endorsed JP, right? J.D. Mandel, and he's doing great. They're all doing good.
I mean, it's pretty remarkable that we've endorsed Dr. Oz isn't even the craziest sentence in that clip. This guy can't even be bothered to remember the names of the people he's endorsing. He went from JP to JD Mandel. If he kept talking, he would have endorsed J.K. Rowling. We endorse JP, JD, you know, the famous writer J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter and the Third Element. This is how much you have to forfeit your dignity to succeed in today's Republican Party. You have to grovel and debase yourself to earn the endorsement of a guy who can't even remember your name, a toilet-obsessed weirdo who, in the same speech, once again bragged about acing that stupid dementia test where you have to identify some animals on a piece of paper.
I said, how tough is this test, Ronnie? Because these people are calling me bad names. They're calling me stupid. They're stupid, Ronnie, and we got to end this bull. So I said, how long and how tough is the test? They said, well, the first questions are easy, but when you get to the middle of the test, they're very hard.
Yeah, they're very hard. For example, you have to remember the names of people you've endorsed. That's how smart people pronounce it, though. Stupid! Let me just remind you all, in case you've forgotten, and I hope you have, that none of the questions are hard. There's a part of the test where you have to name a few animals, and judging from his inability to remember human names, I can't imagine Trump aced it. I'm guessing he wrote down, I don't know, for this one, Knife Nose, and probably called this one Lump Horse. This is the guy for whom the Republican Party tried to overthrow democracy. Every day we get more evidence implicating more and more Republicans in the attempted coup. Republican members of Congress were secretly texting and hatching schemes to keep Trump in power. As the AP reported over the weekend, there's mounting evidence of GOP involvement in Trump's election schemes. That includes people like Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, who was texting with Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, just hours before the mob stormed the Capitol. Jordan offered a legal rationale for what Trump was publicly demanding that Vice President Mike Pence, in his ceremonial role, presiding over the electoral count, somehow assert the authority to reject electors from Biden-won states. Pence should call out all electoral votes that he believes are unconstitutional as no electoral votes at all, Jordan wrote. You don't get to just throw out votes you believe are unconstitutional. Believing doesn't make it so. It's not a Disney movie. Dumbo, you can fly. You have to believe. Just don't look down
Below.
But I would like to hear Trump try to thank Jim Jordan for his loyalty. I just want to thank my close friend and ally, the great congressman from Ohio, Jim Jarmusch. Jimmy, we love his movies, don't we? About coffee and cigarettes. And that was today's joke for film buffs. In addition to being a party of aspiring authoritarians hell-bent on dismantling democracy, the Republican Party is just filled with weirdos. Their standard bearer is a guy whose main obsession is toilets, specifically toilets that aren't strong enough to handle all his bull. This has been A Closer Look. God's Love We Deliver cooks and brings over 2 million meals a year to men, women, and children living with HIV, AIDS, cancer, and other serious illnesses, and they need your help now more than ever. If you're watching this online, you can hit the donate button. Stay safe, get vaccinated. We love you.